EA Sports, within the game. He tucked that ball away, lowered his head, and boom, end zone.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something about Benz looking cute. That's finest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the. Ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gon' give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans, yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. If we coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. This music don't work out. I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't try to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shot for. Can't trust him cause he not my. Cause we worried about getting figures. All my ain't father figures. Just know my quick to pop it.
Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, it's the intro?
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. It's a rivalry that dates back to 1921. The Packers and Bears are underway from Chicago. Pulls it in at the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Rodgers. Here's Lazard, and he's got it. A great grab. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Rodgers now on 1st down. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 42 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Now it's Rodgers. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done, and on the opening drive of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. First carry now for David Montgomery. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
They'll run. This is Khalil Herbert. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. That was all Preston Smith. Navigating into the backfield, he gets the tackle for loss. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. 1st down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Fields throw there, complete to Mooney. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Herbert. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
From the gun, here's Fields. Locates Claypool on the crossing route. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second and goal from the 1. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, Herbert. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Khalil Herbert punching it in from a yard away. And the Bears are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line. Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
That's complete to Lazard. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Fields going to get that out wide to Mooney. Finding space at the 40. Down the right sideline.
20. Touchdown, Chicago.
Darnell Mooney.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Bears have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick.
Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Fields to commit there for a Chicago first. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Fields. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They snap it to Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Dillon now on 1st and 10. Down inside the 40.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well,
Touchdown, Packers.
Robert Tonyan, 39 yards. And the Packers are an extra point away from drawing level. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time out, Charles, they opted to go for it on 4th down in their own territory. Didn't get it, but the defense held strong, and they hold on to this slim lead.
And how about as the defense ran off the field, how about the greeting they got from their teammates on the sideline? They kept that narrow lead by their nice play. Now, let's pay it off for them, right? Punch it in on this drive, take that lead back up to 2 possessions. That would be a nice little thank you gift to them.
Looking to throw on 2nd down.
Fields.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
55-yard punt, 11 on the return.
And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Rodgers going to throw. That's taken in by Watson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now a play fake. Rodgers escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on the receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Crosby is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back, because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
He's got Claypool. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Mark that down as
It's a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Boy, how do you let a guy get that wide open in the 2-minute drill?
There's absolutely no way that that's coached or taught. That's an absolute complete breakdown on that play.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Another carry for Herbert on 2nd down.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Fields will get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get him with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That's complete to Mooney, and they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So here's Cairo Santos on the field goal try. His first attempt of the afternoon, and it's for the win. And his kick is right there. It's good, and it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted them. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaunt. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.